sourdough bread. Well, you have to have a sourdough starter. It's kind of like the Israelites were making when they had to flee Egypt. I'm sure the flour they use is much better, but you know me, I freshly ground my flour, okay? And I wanted to take you through this from the beginning, but life happens and I just was not able to do it. I want to show you, last night I fed my starter. I'm going to explain that to you. And it was at this line, and you can see that it rose that much. I'm not getting a whole lot of lift out of my starter. I think it's going to have to be fed a lot more. Yeah, that has just a slight vinegar smell to it. That's the sourdough. Can you see what it looks like on the inside? So I'm going to stir that up. I don't have a chopping stick. Some people say they use chopping sticks, but I just use the handle of my wooden spoon here. Stir it up. Now, I can't feed it. I want to keep the amount of starter. Oh, I'm lifting it up for myself. I want to keep the amount of starter at this level. So I have to take enough out, about half of it, to make room for more. So I'm going to get, and I keep my, these are terms you're going to get used to if you do this. Feeding it means you add flour and water to it. Discard means you take half of it and put it in here, and then you can make stuff with it. It's just not going to be good for bread making. So I'm going to take half of this out and mix it real good with what's in there. And the reason you have, I had to watch, I guess, 20 different videos to find out why none of these tutorials I was watching in the beginning was telling me, why do you have to take anything out? Why not just add to it? Well, the reason you take it out is because you're going to keep feeding this day after day after day, and eventually your jar will be too full and it won't have enough room to rise. I need to get smaller wood spoons and things. Okay, so I'm going to keep this. Now there's enough there to make to add some pancake batter and make some really, really good pancakes. I keep this in the refrigerator. I keep it kind of in the back so that the light won't disturb it too much. Now you see how sloppy it was. There's something I have to tell you before you try this yourself, because I made the mistake. They were saying, you know, I thought the reason they were using grams is because it was an international thing. They were using grams because they're talking about weight. And believe it or not, well, I can't do it now because I've already measured. This much water weighs the same as 2/3 cup of flour. Well, that's not quite 2/3. Well, I mean, I measured this out. It's not quite 2/3, but it is 2 ounces of flour. It's all, you see, and this is 1/4 of a cup, which is way less than 2/3. See, 2/3 would be up there, but only 1/4. And that's because you weigh it by ounces or grams, but it's by weight, not by volume. So the first time I made it,
I had 2/3 cup of flour and 2/3 cup of water. I mixed it together and it was just soup. And I knew that wasn't right. In one of the tutorials, I said that they actually, if you're going to make a mistake, err on the side of more flour and less water. So, equal weight, not equal volume. Very important. Your tutorials will not tell you that. They don't tell you why you take out your starter mix, you take out half of it and discard it. They won't tell you why anything. They just tell you how, but not why. I need to know why. I'm going to add the water to this, and I'm going to put the flour, and I'm going to mix it all up. Give it a good mix, because while you're mixing it, you're also stirring in air bubbles. It needs lots of oxygen. See how thick that is now? So with adding that, can you see where I brought the level up to where the rubber band is? You kind of can't see because it's so mucky. Oh, there it is. Now you can see. Okay, so I didn't increase the volume of my starter. When I put the lid on, just lightly, you can just set it there. I actually like to give it just a, no, I think I'm just going to let it sit there. I think last time I screwed it on too tight. That, believe it or not, will let some air in. And you set this in a warm place. The only warm place I really have is inside my cabinet, because it doesn't get air conditioning. So I'm putting it way back in the back of my cabinet so nobody will disturb it while it's pumping up. So there you have it, folks. I finally did my sourdough starter video.